I'll review the agenda. We'll have previous minutes, students and school presentations, parent groups, open to the public, 3 minutes per speaker for no longer than 60 minutes, superintendent's report, correspondence and board comments, including committee reports, personnel agenda, consent agenda, proposed executive session subject to board approval, and then we'll adjourn. We do have a couple of small corrections. On page 10 of the agenda, under the January Regents Review, where it says 40 total max hours has been changed to 40 maximum total program hours. On page 11, under the RCT review, the language has been changed to state 20 maximum total program hours. And on page 13, consent agenda B, accept donation. The donation of a piano has been stricken from the agenda. Okay, may I have a motion for previous minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes of the previous regular meeting held on Monday, December 10th, 2012, as circulated.
Second. Comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Students and school presentations.
They will? Okay. Good evening. My name is Madeline Dendero, and I'm the secretary of Beacon High School's National Honor Society. I'm here on behalf of the Color Their World project. We are collecting coloring books and crayons to donate to local hospitals, police stations, and shelters where there are children in need of comfort. We are starting Color Their World a little earlier than last year, hoping to excel the number of coloring books that we collected last year. National Honor Society members are placing these cardboard boxes around our community in local businesses, churches, and schools. On behalf of National Honor Society, I would like to ask you if you would place this box in the Board of Education office to give those the opportunity to donate. We are running Color Their World through the beginning of February, and we would pick up the box with the donated coloring books then.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We'll find a prominent spot for it.
Thank you very much.
It's a great initiative. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Any parent groups tonight? Okay, open to the public. Who would like to speak?
My name is Zachary Phillips. I have two kids in Plymouth Elementary School. And there's a new policy where when we pick up our children, we have to show the teacher an ID. Now, you see how that program works with the high school and junior high school, where there's numerous teachers. But in the grade school setting, and my kids are pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, the teacher knows all the parents by face, by name. So we go up there every day, and you have to take your ID and show your ID to pick up your child. Where they know who we are. If it's my mother going to pick up my child, I see she will show her ID. But it doesn't make any sense. I mean, why is that program implemented? And how can we go past that in grade school to show the ID?
I appreciate you asking that question. We're refining the process now. We're having another meeting, and that's exactly what we're talking about. And the question the principals asked, during the day, if you come in the middle of the day, we still require the licenses. But at arrival and dismissal, we're discussing that and saying if you know the parents, it's fine. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. So we'll refine that process, and you'll hear more about it in probably a week or so. Okay. So I appreciate that very much. You asking that question.
Who else would like to speak?
Random here from Eastville.
Who's this?
Kim Alwell, President of about the work that has been done with our APPR thus far this year. Although I truly appreciate the recognition from Dr. Walkley, thank you, Barb, and I know Eric does as well, the work, the real work, time, effort that Dr. Walkley has put into this document has been simply amazing. Her ability to work with our teachers, our administrators, and most notably state ed, has, in my opinion, been the reason for our success thus far this year. On behalf of BTA, we appreciate your work, Dr. Walkley, all of your support, and most importantly, for being a great teacher. I can't say that any of us can foresee what the future will bring. However, Dr. Walkley's quote from the beginning of the year, if you recall, all work all of the time, and forget it, I don't think any of us have, has certainly come to fruition. So I know we're only halfway through, but I think it's a good opportunity and time to recognize the work, of course, with Mr. Hilberg as well, with the support there. So it's been a great effort on your part, and it hasn't gone unnoticed, even through the frustration. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kim. That was very nice.
Good evening, Board. My name is Mark Morgan. I'm a coach for the Beacon Kids Wrestling Club. We've had a wrestling tournament basically every year in the past. It's being held at our high school as normal. The reason I come to you this evening is to ask for your consideration in a reduction of the costs that are being charged to our club. I did, prepare a letter for your review. I just want to highlight and touch on some of the points of this letter. Beacon doesn't have a modified wrestling program anymore. Our kids wrestling program that we have 3 times a week here is the only feeder program to Beacon Wrestling at the high school, JV, and varsity level now. We don't want to see the sport fade away. I'm a graduate of Beacon High School. I wrestled for Beacon High School. I represented Beacon High School 20 years ago in New York State Championships. Eric Romanino was actually my coach then.
And you actually made it to the championship?
Yep. 20 long years ago. So many of the kids, I'd probably, respectively say that about 90% of the children that wrestle for Beacon High School now have come through our kids club program. We have over 40 kids presently that all live or attend Beacon City School District. A proceed of the portion of our proceeds this year is actually going to go to the Newtown Kids Wrestling Club in the name of Jack Pinto, who was, lost in the Sandy Hook Elementary School tragedy. He was actually a youth wrestler from that area. So this isn't it's an annual event, but it's not anything for anyone to profit or make any money off of. All the coaches are volunteers. We don't charge for admission, and we invite you all to come out and see what's happening. It's on the 26th of this month, and once again, I don't want to take up more time than necessary, but we just ask that you consider reducing the cost of the gym for that day. Thank you for your time. Do you have questions?
What I'd like to thank you. What I'd like to do is, can we set up a meeting with you, Mr. Romanino, and myself?
Absolutely.
Discuss this.
Absolutely. And I believe Kevin Davis had set up or submitted for the application.
Okay.
But I can get you my information, or you can get in touch with Kevin to have that done.
We might be able to reach an accommodation that works for the district as well as the club, because it won't be for this year, but going forward as well.
Greatly appreciated, and that would prevent us from doing this every year. Thank you.
for coming out.
Thank you very much.
Would anyone else like to speak?
Hello. Jan Stark, taxpayer, district resident. A while ago, back, I guess November, I asked what our process was going forward for the search for our new superintendent and assistant superintendent. We held, there was a meeting that was held where the public gave input and for characteristics that we would like to see in the leader for the district. And I know everyone asked for a clone of Mr. Hilbert, but I know that's only available.
Desperate.
But the question is where are we in regards to our search process for both Mr. Dr. Walke and also Mr. Hilbert?
Thanks for asking that question. The application deadline is this Friday. We've had a number of qualified applicants apply. We'll be reviewing the applications through the end of this month, beginning next month, and doing screening interviews. So that by the end of February, early March, the board will have a first crack at the most qualified candidates. So that's where we're at right now.
Thank you.
For Dr. Walkley, that advertisement will probably hit OLAS, and I know you're familiar with that, the online application system, end of February, beginning of March for a July 1 deadline.
Thank you.
Yes, Dennis.
To offer two comments. I'd like to thank the superintendent for his gracious and thoughtful card. Last November, in passing my father, thank you very much. The thoughts and prayers were very helpful at the time. With that, I'd like to stay with another concern of mine that I've been bringing up here for years upon years upon years, and that is Project SAVE. Before I go into that any further, I'm wearing two articles of clothing tonight to honor two victims of Newtown. Pink scarf. Emily Smith, a 6-year-old. What's your favorite color? Victoria Soto, his color was favorite color is green. So, I didn't know that. So, I'd like to say how far have we come since the terrible tragedy in Newtown 30 days ago today. We don't act. We are a society of we're not acting, but we react. We like to wait for things to happen. I can remember years ago telling the superintendent, making a suggestion to a superintendent to have metal detectors in the schools. He shrugged his shoulders and said, "I'm not going to do that." I said to him, "Yeah." So, with all these other districts in the papers discussing with the public new safety measures, when is our public meeting going to happen? What time, what day, what month? To discuss discuss new security measures in our schools. Because this time, folks, I'm not going to go away. I get out of work at 2 o'clock. I can be in your office by 2:15 the latest. I can sit there all day until we go home, until we figure out how and what we're going to implement in our schools. This time, and I say this also, as people sit there and smile at me for no apparent reason, I disagree with a person, a kiosk, or a desk sitting by a door waiting for someone to approach the building to come in the building, in any building. That security measure has to go. Because the kid in Newtown shot his way into school. So what's someone going to do at a kiosk or a desk when they're going to approach somebody? That security measure has to actually got to go out the window, folks. It doesn't work anymore. I'm suggesting roving patrols around the schools, every school in the city of Beacon. Roving patrols. You want to get the person before they get into the school. That's the object, right? Before they get into the soft targets. Soft targets are schools, nursing homes, hospitals. If it happened in the school, it can happen in a nursing home. Why can't it? Thanks for your time.
Would anyone else like to speak? Mr. Hilbert, Superintendent's report.
We have a very busy second semester, next 6 months ahead of us. As you heard, the report from the Chief of Police earlier and Dr. Sieverding, we're continuing with our district safety initiatives. We're also going to start the budget process soon with the Board of Education. You know, there's a new thing in town called the property tax cap, and we're going to be wrestling with that. As Jan asked, we're going to be, and we're in the midst of the superintendent search, and then the replacement for what size shoe? 7.5, 6.5. Barbara Walkley, Dr. Walkley there. So a couple of difficult assignments, and we're looking at continuing the implementation of our initiative with teaching and learning, and we're going to have a visit by the State Education Department, who will be reviewing the middle school and high school. So that's just some of the things that we're working on, and I appreciate the wonderful cooperation and the support of the Board of Education and the administration through this all this process. So thank you very much.
And do we have any correspondence or board comments tonight?
No board comment. I just wanted to thank Barbara Walkley. I had a couple of questions related to some of the things that we're going to be voting on today, and she definitely has all her ducks in a row there, and so I just wanted to thank the administration for basically being very thorough in their work, and it makes it easy to make a decision as a board member. So just wanted to say thank you.
And on behalf of the board, I would like to thank Mrs. Lazarus and Dr. Sieverding and Dr. Walkley for their presentations to the board tonight. I would like to thank Chief Solomon for coming and introducing himself to the community as well as the board all in one shot. So thank you so much. motion for personnel agenda?
Motion to approve the personnel agenda as listed from A to Q.
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion for consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as follows from A to G. Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Do we have an addendum? So Mike, I need a motion to, because this is not on the agenda. May I have a motion to add an item to the agenda?
Motion to add an item on the agenda. Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'll just read briefly the resolution. Be it resolved, the board hereby adopts the findings of fact and penalty recommendation of the superintendent of schools dated December 12, 2012, which endorsed the findings of the hearing officer, Jeffrey Shiro, as spread out on the agenda.
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
So we'll do a roll call.
Yes.
Larry Cohen,
Yes.
Betsy Janice, excused, Jennifer Edge,
In favor.
Christine Galbo,
Yes.
Frank Garnett,
Against.
Georgia Patchen,
Yes.
Mary Beth Stevens,
No.
Bill Zoff,
Yes.
Melissa Thompson.
Yes.
6-2.
Motion carried. May I have a motion for executive session?
Motion to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of reviewing the employment history of a particular person in collective bargaining under the Taylor Law, and the board is not expected to take action after executive session.
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you for coming out.